let me show you what I've got today. Thanks for coming back to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure if you get something out of this, you like the video, make sure your bell notifications are on. I'm back at Plano Kawasaki, Suzuki, Aprilia, Vespa, and they've been so great to me this year and let me do these first rides. This is the Eliminator 450, okay? I know some of us old timers are, you know, somebody that's been in bikes for a little while. We remember the Eliminator 900s that had the huge back tires and all the horsepower, but they brought this Eliminator line back. This directly competes with the Honda Rebel, but it does some things a lot better. The Honda Rebel's got a 16-inch front tire, where this has got an 18, and it's a little bit thinner, so it's going to handle better. It does have a LED low and high beam, LED blinkers. It's got a LCD screen with tack on it. It's got case savers on it, so if you're a new rider and you're just learning how to ride, and that's really what this bike is probably geared up for, or just something they can play on, this bike will do it. This bike is it's a 24 model, it's only $6,600. You can get the ABS model for $7,000. But anyways, front rear disc brakes, the seat comes off, it's got a little bit of storage under it. It's got a metal gas tank on it with lockable gas door. Let's start this thing up and we'll get on the road. I'll show you this screen. The seat height on this, I believe, is 28 inches. So if you're a shorter person or you're just starting out, this is perfect for somebody that push button start. It's got your high-low beam right there. You can see your gas gauge. That's nice. See the Bluetooth. It will link up to your phone and show you how many messages you got. You can't read the messages. It's got an RPM gauge right there. I know my 360 camera's in the way a little bit. This bike has 5 miles on it. We're fixing to ride it. You also can connect this to the Kawasaki app, so you can track your rides and stuff like that. Turn signals are here, horn, and being on this bike, you probably won't have to worry about those guys very much, because this is a pretty conservative bike. It's a real easy learning bike. We're gonna let out on the clutch, and we got a guy up here that just bought a scooter, teaching his wife how to ride. That's cool. So many young riders. Speaking of new riders, shows a high beam. We'll turn that off. That's exactly what this bike is built for. New riders, maybe a little bit shorter. I love the foot pegs. Very comfortable. It's like a mid foot peg. It's not, you ain't got your feet out in front of you in case you start to tip over or something. You could just set your foot right down. Your feet ain't way out in front of you. But man, it's so easy to ride this. Got your gear selector right there on your screen. This thing does redline at 11,000 RPM. If I'm not mistaken, it's 450 cc's, and it's basically got the Ninja 400 motor in it. Now, they did put different cams in it and tune it differently, so it's going to make more torque down low. It's more of a cruiser, but don't let the Ninja 400 motor scare you. The Ninja 400 platform, or the 400cc platform that Kawasaki has, it's a beginner platform. So they do have a 400RR Ninja that just came out, and it's definitely not a beginner platform. It'd be like a track bike, but I think they're pretty much already sold out. Man, the exhaust note is really cool on this. Oh yeah, it's got a little torque to it. That's 40 in second, and I'm running 7,000 RPM. Shifts very nicely, just barely pulling in the clutch. This thing makes about 50 horsepower, so it's nothing that's going to get away from you. Excellent starter bike, or excellent around town commuter bike for maybe a younger person that's trying to save money going to school or college. Or this thing, from what I've read in the specs, gets 70 to 90 miles per gallon, which is hard to believe, but that's weird that I'm pulling up behind these bikers. So if you don't want to put that much effort in right there, you can always buy a motorcycle. And it is hot here in Texas. It's about 100, 101 today. I hope y'all been liking these first rides. But I've got a bunch of them on my channel, and always make sure if you end up liking the video or getting something from it, make sure you like it, because it helps my videos get picked up in the algorithm a little better. I can't believe those people don't, like, I see sweat pouring off of him and her, but I can't believe I'd be melting. I'm not the most physically fit person, but I'd have to have an ambulance following me out here. Come on now. Here we go. Turn on our blinker. To cancel that blinker, once we make the turn, we'll push it in. Here we go. This thing's got, we'll cancel that blinker. It's got plenty of power. That's second gear. I tell you what, these, in this bike for $6,600, Kawasaki's got, I think 5.5% financing on this for 36 months, or if you're a check rider on it. I mean, $6,600, and you got a Kawasaki with a full 1-year warranty. Man, what else could you want? I mean, these little bit cheaper bikes, this is the best way to get into motorcycles without spending $15,000, $18,000. But we'll go up here and take this thing on the highway. We'll make a big loop. I want to see what it's like on the highway. It's almost 400 pounds. So, excuse me. It's almost 400 pounds, so it's going to have a little bit of weight to it. So you could easily get on the highway, and I know it's going to have 40, 50 horsepower, plenty to get on the highway. But we'll take it through the city a little bit and check this thing out. It's got hydraulic front brakes, hydraulic back brakes, and it's got the plastic case savers on the passenger side, so if it falls over, also too, if you turn the bars, if it fell over with this bar like this, you'd probably break a lever and that was it. That'd be it. Same on the other side. So it's no big deal. It's not like a sport bike. If it falls over, it'd probably be $2 grand to fix it. Here we go. Second gear. Oh yeah, it makes plenty of horsepower. Very impressive. Yep, guess I better turn my blinker off. I'll look like a noob. You know, I always learn something from doing these first rides. This gray color, this is like the gray you see on all these new cars. It's just a cool gray. It almost looks like a clear coated primer, but this has got the like a metallic finish in it, and you probably can't see that in the video, but it's super cool. It's like an Audi. I think Audi has that gray, flat gray with metallic. Audi or Porsche. I'm in 5th gear, and I'm kind of lugging it on purpose. You can see I'm at 4,000 RPM. Just lugging it, and it has no problem climbing. There's 60 mile an hour. I mean, I better slow down. No problem with power. Man, this thing rides good. Real good. Well, it's almost 400 pounds, so about the size of a normal, a little bit less. I think it's like 380 pounds, but a little bit lighter than your normal motorcycle, but just enough for you to get a real secure footing with it on the road. Put our blinker on, make it through there because it's turning yellow. Kill that turn signal. There's a second. This thing's got some get up and go to it too, so you could play after you learned it. That poor guy, it's hard for him to see motorcycles that are coming up on them real quick. That's one thing you got to be real careful about riding a motorcycle. They, you know, there's, anyways, I'm real impressed. Like I say, Kawasaki in Plano, Texas. Man, I just seen another bike, a 25th anniversary. We should be able to do something on it 2 weeks from now, but they sell Kawasaki's, Suzuki's, Aprilia's, Vespa, Piaggio. They've got it all. They've got the side-by-sides, everything, and I'm so thankful that they let me do these first rides for y'all. Make sure, yep, GoPro still on. Horn, yep, works 4 ways. That lady scooting up because I honked the horn. Don't worry, you got a nutcase back here. And did you see that? This is one thing that I think is a big deal for new riders. I'm in first gear, and let's just say you're trying to learn. You let out on the clutch too fast. Up, killed it. That's all it's going to do. So it's not going to make a huge amount of horsepower to throw you off. It's an excellent learning bike if you've never learned how to ride a motorcycle. Kawasaki's bringing back this Eliminator lineup, and I'm sure they'll get aggressive with it. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This is their first one out again. So, I'm sure they got a bad boy Eliminator in the making. I can't wait to see this one. Because that last Eliminator 900, it was, and this bike looks a lot like that Eliminator 900 did. The back fender, this bike really handles well with that 18-inch front tire. I'm basically using the front brakes. That's it. You can get the ABS model for like $300 more. I think it's $7 grand even for the ABS model if you need ABS. It's a good idea to get it, but wait on this traffic here and then we'll ease up on the highway. I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with this bike. All the finishes on it are really nice. You can see good out of the mirrors. You've actually got a gas gauge on this bike, RPM, gear indicator. It is Bluetooth capable, so you can hook it up to your phone. Awesome, man. Yeah, it's warm here today in Texas, no doubt about it. It's supposed to start cooling down here next week, but here we go. We're fixing to take this thing on the highway. Here we go. Use our blinker. And I'm just playing with it. I'm just easing it on. We're in 4th gear. I'm gonna put it up in 5th, put it up in 6th and lug it. 50, 53. Oh yeah, there's no problem. Even if you're in the wrong gear, this bike's gonna pull you. That's nice. Excellent riding bike. I'm really impressed with it. How good this bike rides. Probably one of the best riding bikes I've rode. The scooters ride good, but this thing, you do have adjustable shocks in the rear. The front you can adjust, but the rears you can. We'll jump off of it up here and I'll give you one more look at it, but super impressive bike. I think it was $66.49 for this bike. It is a 24 model. They're just coming out. Everything's LED. Headlight, high beam, low beam, blinkers, everything's LED. Four-way flasher, high beam indicator, horn. See that display? Backlit. Got your clock in it. Really impressive bike. I mean, how could you go wrong with $6,600 and you got a 2024 model motorcycle? It'll go the distance. You'll get at least 10 years worth of use out of it. It'll wear you out. You're not going to wear it out. I remember some of my bikes that I owned when I was younger, and man, I was not easy on them. Handlebars and blinkers and all that stuff, but you know, that stuff's cheap compared to these sport bikes. You know, starting out on a sport bike, it falls off the center stand. It could be like $2,500. The plastic on them is high. But this has got the steel trellis frame on it. That's probably contributing to the way it handles and rides. Very good handling bike. I love that 18-inch front tire. Feels like, it reminds me of my Harley. I had a Softail, a 99 Harley Softail. The way that it was kind of the way it handled. Just pretty sporty, but not too aggressive. Get turned around here. I'll pull over in the parking lot and give you one more look at it. But they do make a XE or SE edition. I think it's anyways, it's an upgraded one, and they've got it in orange. It does come with like a bullet cover for the front headlight, and it comes with ABS. I'll put a picture of it here in the video. Oh, Plano's finest. I tell you what, really good group of guys. They won't mess with you, but boy, if you got it coming, you will hear from them. They'll even let you off if you're just a couple over, more times than not. When I was a kid, I used to get when I was 18, I used to get a ticket probably every other week. And I didn't want to tell my parents about it, so I'd throw it in the center console, and about 3 months later, I'd get pulled over again for something, and I'd have a warrant out. So I'd call my dad and I'd be like, Dad, you ain't gonna believe this. They say there's a warrant out for my arrest. And he'd be like, well, I'm sure there is. I'd say, Dad, will you come get me and I'll pay you back? And he'd come get me out of jail, and I'd have to pay him right back. He wanted his money lickety split. But anyways, he'd come after me. He'd say, why don't you just slow down? And from 18 to 25, I totaled everything I sat in, got on, or even looked at. I was hard on stuff. But I tell you what, I learned so much from my pop. He was so right. Just slow down a little bit. It's funny, my wife got a ticket about a month and a half ago. She's always getting on to me for driving too slow in the car. I'm fast on a motorcycle, but in a car, I'm really slow. I'm like a grandpa. You'd have to probably blow the horn to get me out of the way. But anyways, I'll pull over up here and give you one last look at it. I know I told you that a while ago, but I got in one of these old stories. It's what happens when your mind drifts. Man, I tell you what, I'm so happy Texas is fixing to cool down. Woo, we're supposed to see a big cold front come this next week, get us back into the middle 80s to 90s. But being 100 yesterday, this is Saturday, but Friday it was like 109 in Dallas. Let me pull over and show y'all this motorcycle before I just keep on rambling. Y'all don't want to hear me talk. Let me find a parking lot here. Excellent brakes. You see that? Excellent brakes. I'm impressed. Let's get this thing over one lane if somebody will let us. We got our blinker on, but these Texas drivers, man, in a hurry to go nowhere. They'll fly past you, and they'll fly past you, and you'll see them at the next red light. You'll be right beside them. I'm like, dude, where'd that get you? But talking about my wife, what's funny, she got a ticket 11 over, and she actually got out of it, but I've been jacking with her, telling her, hey, you're on probation right now and you're still speeding. But anyways, let me jump off this thing and show it to you. Take one more last look at it, put the kickstand down. Pretty impressive bike. Real impressive. Got the steel trellis frame. Got the aluminum mag alloys on it. That's 18-inch front, 16-inch rear. Passenger pegs. The seat does come off. The key to get the seat off is right there, and it comes off like this, which is kind of in reverse. But see that wide rear end? That's how the Kawasaki Eliminator 900 used to be, except the tire was about that wide. It was huge, and I know if any of y'all ever seen one, leave a comment. It was an impressive bike. Disc brake on the back. There's your adjustable rear suspension. You can adjust it, no slots. Turn that up. Here's your foot pegs. But bike's water cooled, LED headlight, high beam, low beam, LED blinkers. $6,600, man. That's a steal. Eliminator. That bike right there is going to kill Honda, the Rebel. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of it. Extra pass, I didn't see that. There it is. Awesome bike. Thanks for riding along with me, and here's 2 videos that YouTube thinks you need to watch.